This video is made for adult collectors because I'm slightly sick, so I sound congested. Sorry.
There's no sound chip. We gotta do it ourselves. Red alert. Woo, 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 woo.
Age of the Primes rounds out its wave 1 of 2 Voyagers with yet another solid release. Actually, this is more solid than Prima. Actually, I wasn't looking forward to this nearly as much as I was looking forward to Prima, but I find this toy way more fun. They managed to make the proportions and the kibble on this design work. It doesn't look goofy anymore, and it feels more interesting and fun. This is Red Alert from Age of the Primes, and this was bought at Walmart Canada. Here's the box, not sponsored. What's funny is I say that so people know where I got this from, but then I still get asked how I got them. It's kind of funny. Anyways, Red. He looks good. The shade of blue has no right. Good fucking God. Let's try that again. The shade of blue has no right to work with this white, but it does. And the bits of red and the entire front of the truck up here, it all looks great. And the proportions. On the original, he was super skinny and weirdly long, but here they made it all work, kind of. He also just looks good standing there in a lot of dynamic angles. They got the kibble to be smaller in proportion to the body than the original toy, and it really makes this design work a lot more for me. And the plastic. He has really dense plastic, and there are no loose joints at all on my copy of the toy. The backpack sits nice and flush, it pegs in very solidly, and they put the flip out gun on the back. Something about how this fits into the backpack is super satisfying to do. Even one of my friends who bought this is like, I love flipping the cannon because it's so fun. And it can remove and be pegged onto his hand so you can hold it like a gun. Oh yeah, only one hand. If you look at this stock image, and only this stock image from what I understand, there are 2 hands. I think someone at marketing saw this as a render and it only had one hand, and they wanted to mirror the fist so that it didn't look empty for casual fans because all the accessories are off to the side. And if a casual fan sees a toy missing a hand in the stock image, they're gonna be like, what the hell? We all know because we're hardcore fans, but for casual people, I don't know. It's still weird, but I'm not mad about it because Red Alert's always just had one hand. I do wish the chest still opened, if not just to have an Easter egg. He does have some really cool weapon storage. Gun aside, the different wrist attachments can store inside the leg kibble, and the claw missile can store in the backpack, which is very nice. Now, he is poseable. Even with all this kibble, he can hit some really dynamic movements. I just wish he could hit the running pose. He can't do that. So I wasn't expecting this to be this good. It's very good when it comes to its articulation. And there's like, you look and you go, oh, the kibble would hinder it, but it moves out of the way. It's got like dedicated bits to move so that it doesn't get in the way, which is awesome. So to start with, the head is on a ball joint. You can't really get much tilt, but it can do a full 360. And just like Prima, it can look up all of the way, which is awesome. Also, the light piping is real nice. You have shoulder rotations. They can go in and out. If you go out and then move it, the door moves with it, so you gotta kind of hold the door. Due to transformation, there is a backwards butterfly joint. You have bicep rotation, double jointed elbows. The wrist and the gun can both swivel because the gun's on a 5mm peg and the wrist is on a mushroom peg. You do have a waist joint, but it is hindered by this backpack. However, you move the backpack, you get your waist joint, and then you just close it back up. So you can do that. And then you got the hips that go forward. They can go back all the way. Get the arm out of the way. They can go out that far. You can't do a full split just because of the sculpt, but like that's fine. You got thigh rotation. You have 90 degrees of bend at the knee. And if you want to, these can rotate so you can have them up if you'd like, or if you need to get them out of the way of any poses, if they're going to collide with the backpack or whatever, you can just sort of bend them like this. I will say this clip doesn't clip in as tight as I'd like because I want to bend the knee and then this goes and not the knee. So that's a little annoying, but then the feet can go forward, they can go back, they're on ratchets, and then you've got an awesome ankle tilt. So he is extremely poseable for being Red Alert and is very solid. Nothing is loose on this at all. I love it. I just wish that you can hear them. They're really solid, but the knees are just a little tighter than this, so I wish that was the other way around. but it's still very nice.
So yeah, robot mode is sweet. I love how it works and feels, and honestly don't have any problems here other than me wishing the chest open for an Easter egg. Transformation is similar to the OG, but more refined and less fiddly.
So Red's transformation is similar to the original toy, but there's a couple of new like flips and tricks in here to make it feel A, more refined, and B, compressed, because it compresses quite a bit. So to start with, we're going to take the gun and we're going to store it. I do wish this could stay in the hand and go in the truck mode. I wish there was like a little indentation here for it to fit. That's like my one biggest gripe with these swappable hands things. But you just slot it into here. This is easier said than done. There we are. Now it's in. Then you fold up the heels, and we're going to fold the feet down and then bend it at that middle section. Oh, also, if you want the customer service replacement stamp, it's there. So you fold this up on both sides. Now these don't peg together. They don't need to peg together, but they don't peg together, so they're just gonna sit there like that. Then you wanna come up to the front here. You wanna open this hood section up and get this up. And don't do that. That doesn't happen very often. Gripping this panel when you go to flip it out is a little annoying, so I find it's easier just to like push at the back here and then get your fingers in there and then just pull that out. Then you fold the head in, then you fold that down. Then you bring this section up. You're going to take the arms, rotate them 90 degrees, and then peg them in, and then double bend the elbows. Do that on both sides. And then you bring the doors around, and then close them up. And the arms will peg together. Then you bring this up at the waist, and this will just, oops, before you do that, I always forget this. Bring that panel down. Then you bring this up at the waist, and just sort of slot everything in, peg it into the back. That's not slotted in properly. There we go. Peg it into the back. And that's it. There you have Red Alert, and everything is stored inside. It's so nice. It's so fun to flick this thing back and forth. I love it. It's very cool.
That is exactly how I would want this to look. I have like no complaints with this alt mode. I love the colors, the red stripe down the side and the red clear windows, most of which are inserts by the way, with the massive clear section on the top and the Minicon peg. It's got a hole in the middle. They put a Minicon. Please make a Minicon pack, Hasbro, please. All the wheels are pinned so he rolls super well, and it is just a nice dense brick. Silver on the front with the yellow headlights, and then clear indicators stuck onto the side. I think that's a nice touch. I just really like this toy overall. I recommend it flat out. It's solid, built well, articulates well, transformation is fun and easy to flip back and forth. I think this first wave of Voyagers for this new toy line has been a pretty good hit. Prima I had a couple of things with, but for the most part I like it. But Red Alert I don't have a single like major issue with. I think this thing is awesome. But that's my look at Age of the Prime's Red Alert. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.